going on, everyone? I hope you're all having a great Thursday. Hopefully better than what I've been going through. As today was a emotional roller coaster as far as trading goes. We're going to be working from the bottom up this time around. We're going to be working from the 30-minute time frame up to the daily to the weekly and into the monthly, looking at the bigger picture and kind of reviewing what would occur then. Uh, and then, of course, going to review the DraftKings swing trade as I did take off some of the paper position. Keep in mind it is a paper position. Worked out really well. Excited to show you guys the results of that swing trade. Um, if you were to be looking to take like a trade uh, out of like a trade where equity or a instrument is breaking out of balance to the upside or the downside, and how that trade can turn into pretty good profit. Um, but first and foremost, let's go over what occurred today. So in yesterday's video, I do believe I was discussing about how the most bullish thing you want to see as a buyer is finding acceptance above this price probe. Majority of the overnight session traded back and forth through the price probe, but mostly holding above the price probe, where we spiked up above L's high here from yesterday at that 41.44 level. And we are above that 41.41 level where I said we need to find acceptance. So we open up above both the price probe, which is bullish, what I was looking forward to. I said if we opened up inside, I would look to be trading in between everything. But however, we did open up with a gap. So we took out not only the price probe and held it, we took out the previous day's high, got into the single prints back from August 22nd of 2022. Got into those single prints pretty good, opening up inside that set of single prints at 41.74, and then filling the gap where we've kind of rotated a little bit lower, but didn't find acceptance back into the previous day's range as B period took out A's low, but we didn't get much for it, and we popped back up near the opening. After that occurred, after that occurred, the market decided to open up near B's high, push above the open, take out A's high, so taking out the initial balance high. So a lot of things were starting to look in the buyer's favors, look in the buyer's favor as we were one time framing up at this point. We had taken out, or actually, we're not one time framing up. We were one time framing down in B period, put the market back into a balance, but we had value, uh, and we took out the initial balance high and gotten the overnight high. So things of that nature were looking good for the buyers. We created a set of single prints in C period. We held it in D. We held them in E. Held them in F. As we pulled back into them midday, I took one trade today. Prior to getting absolutely mollywopped in J period and K period. I got absolutely smoked. I'll discuss that trade here in a minute, but I'd only taken one trade early, in the day, and that was on the pullback in F period. I got long 83, I got long 82, and 81. And the low here was 81.25, so I got long 81.50. I believe was the actual fill. Is 81.50 or 81.75? But I was long 81s for this thing to rotate back up to point of control, which is right here where we held a 9 wide point of control, but looking for us to rotate back up into it, and I got paid pretty well on a 3 lot there as I was long 81. I took them off 86. I had a feeling we'd get up into the 90 handle, and I had my offer there, but as we pushed up into the 87, 88 area, I decided to take it all off because I figured why not get. I caught most of the move. What's 2 more points? Let's get out of the trade for a really good gain. Then after that, I didn't do anything. G, H, and I didn't do anything as I'd stepped away from my desk, stepped away from the market, and uh, finally in I period we came in, filled that set of single prints, and almost got into where the gap started on the daily and weekly, that weekly and daily gap back from August. We tried to get into it initially, backed off a little bit, and then in J period got into it but didn't fill as we found supply and sellers, and then we got a massive liquidation break, JK and into L period, where we finally stopped at the day's low, reversed, and came back up in M period to get 9 wide at I's low. So we have a 9 wide point of control, something we'll carry forward there. Let's go ahead and mark that because that will be an area of importance. Low 92, 9 wide point of control, 92 even. So got a 9 wide point of control there. But early on in the day, it was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wide once Jay pulled into it. And then uh, Curly and Larry kind of did their thing and pushed this market down even lower until we found a bid near and buyers near the day's low right here at B's low. The daily low was 53.25. 325 was the daily low. So we got near it, didn't take it out, found the bid, rotated back up and closed near our highs, and then an end period uh, after the market had closed, we got some earnings that came out, didn't look too hot. So let's discuss what occurred in J period. So after my trade in F period, I did well, right? Uh, Made good money. Here's where things get tricky: is when you've been doing well and you've had really good consistent trades up until because trades are just a distribution. You're gonna have good trades, and you're gonna have bad trades, and they're all distributed differently over a span of time. No matter how it goes, you're gonna have good days and you're gonna have bad days, and you're gonna have good trades and you're gonna have bad trades. And how you manage your risk is how bad the loss will be when you do have bad trades. So after F period, it was a good risk reward trade that I took. I should have closed it down, but I kept it open. I came back into the market in I period or right J period after we had had some single prints initially from I. I came back, looked at my monitor, seen we were pulling back, uh, and I figured we would hold, not thinking because I was like, all right, we're one time framing up or setting new highs on the day. Maybe before coming into the Three Stooges, Curly, Larry, and Mo here, we'll start getting some volume and pushing this thing up to fill the set of single prints, or not the single prints, but fill the gap up here at 42.2075. Thought that's what we were going to do. So as we pulled back in J period, I got long at 4,200. The gap filled at 41.9850, or not the gap, but the single prints filled at 41.9850. So I had my stop just below there. If we filled it, I felt like it was a good chance we would come in and get 8 wide right here at eyes low. So I didn't want to be a part of that hurt down into eyes low. But I took the long, not knowing the context of the day, not knowing that we came or that we were getting extremely weak as far as the long side goes and that we weren't getting paid much. Uh, then we had the liquidation break and I got stopped out initially. Then I decided to get long again against G's low, got stopped out. Decided to get long again against the single prints in F. So I got long right around 81, taking a one lot at 86. I got taking a one lot at 81, so I'm now long two. Taking another lot at around 78. So now I'm long three as Curly pulled back. And then once we filled the set of single prints in Curly at 76 and then got below the open, I took it all off for a pretty hefty loss there on the day. So what happened? Well, partly to blame is greed. I got greedy, and I was cocky. Those are two bad things for um, basically a disastrous day. I was greedy in the sense that I wanted to make more money. Uh, I wasn't happy with what I made in F, even though it was a pretty significant amount. On the three lot that I did have in F period, I wanted more and felt like it was a good long opportunity up here. But once we got past uh, H is low, I got sloppy and was not paying attention to the tempo on the way down. At that point, I wanted to make my money back, so revenge trading took place. So wanted to make my money back. Wasn't paying attention to what the market was doing, which was a pretty good tempo to the downside. I knew I should have immediately known to get short to go fill the set of single prints because that's just what the market does sometimes. Um, and then cockiness was me thinking I knew what the market was going to do by holding it down here in the set of single prints and this thing reversed back up to get 9 wide in K period instead of M. Um, but that was on me. I got cocky. I got lazy because I had been consistent, thinking I know what the market's going to do. And I got humbled real quick, real fast. And that's one thing about the market. It will humble you and make you learn everything all over again. Time to put the training wheels back on the bike, put the helmet, the pads back on, uh, fight to live or lived to fight another day, thankfully. Not too big of a loss on the day, but just big enough to make me upset. And hope that any knowing how yesterday I was talking about being an uneducated trader and how I didn't want to be one or how I didn't think I was one. Um, Definitely was an uneducated trader today in the sense that I was trading emotionally and not risk reward wise and letting this market sort itself out before getting a great opportunity here in L period against the day's low to push back up. So didn't take things into context, got greedy, got cocky, got humbled. Time to put the training wheels back on and fight back. That's one good thing about this market is uh, you manage your risk just well enough, you might survive long enough to continue to trade. Thankfully, I got lucky today and managed my risk to an extent to where I wouldn't get absolutely smoked and blow completely up, but I did take a pretty hefty loss, and I'm not too happy about it. Normally, I'd be really uh, a lot more upset than I am now, but I like to think that I've grown as a trader. So just kind of taking it with a grain of salt, understanding what I did, and hopefully moving forward, I will be more patient and less emotional. Wait for more visual areas where risk reward is better versus me just trying to buy and hoping this thing would pull back up so I can make my money back. That's not the way to trade. That's how you get absolutely slaughtered. All right. So enough about that little lesson there. Make sure you use your stops, kids. Use your stops. They're important. Today's high was at 4208.50, so let's go ahead and mark that. 4208.50. 4208.50 is today's high. Is now where our high day from today is. So the second, February 2nd, and it is also where the gap now starts. Um, we have our 9Y point of control here at 92. 9Y point of control will be a destination for the downside if we open up near the day's high and can't get it out, take it out. Now, don't think that just because we took back a good portion of the day here, uh, that the market's going to roll over and we're just going to see new lows on our daily. However, uh, this is healthy, good consolidation up here. Probably some profit taking coming into tomorrow's data. I believe we have some more economic data coming out tomorrow. So, uh, people probably taking profits, and then we did get up into that area where there might be some supply or some liquidity where that gap was, which caused the market to just kind of free fall to the downside. And then obviously, people like myself who got long and got hurt were selling it as well. So don't think that just because we pulled back, the market is getting weak. We are up in most of the larger time frames. We're up on the daily, we're up on the weekly. The monthly in a technical sense is up, but I'm not calling it one time framing up, and I'll show you why on the larger time frames. So if then statements. All right, so if we open above non-wide point of control and we cannot take out today's high, get into the gap and fill the gap, we will come back down and trade at 41.92 non-wide point of control. If we get through that and below it, you don't have anything until the day's low down here at 41.5325, and then our price probe at 41.4425, and then from there where the single prints start at 41.1725. And they fill at 40.8975. If we do take out today's low tomorrow, then we'll be putting the daily back into a initial 3-day balance. Basically putting it back into a balance, and then we'll see how we trade from there. However, if we take out this high, fill the gap, there's room to the upside. I believe there's another non-wide point of control somewhere around 42.40. I'll have to get the exact number here in a little while and put it on my chart. All right, let's go ahead and look at the larger time frame here. Look at our monthly. Monthly, we extended the range just a little bit more above that 41.41 level. We're at the start of February. We're looking to come up and test this 43.2750, where my monthly balance high is. However, you can say the monthly is up, one time framing up if you'd like, inside this larger balance. But for me, I will not call the monthly firmly up until we take out 43.2750. And at that point, I will say the monthly is up. It's all subjective. It's all an art, not a science. It's however you want it. So if you want to say the monthly is up, that's all right. Technically, we did break out of this small little 5-month balance, and we are moving to the upside. It was an inside month up, so that is something to keep in mind. Weekly. Weekly is one time framing up, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. After breaking out of this small balance down here to the downside, we're one time framing up 4 weeks in a row. One of the longest streaks that we've had in a while, besides this run back here. So looking to continue to move up higher. See how the week closes. If we close above this 41.41 level on our weekly, that was that outside week down level. So if we close above that on a weekly after the economic data tomorrow, things are still looking good for the buyers. Go ahead and look at our daily. Our daily. You can see we took out that 4-day balance. One time framing up 2 days in a row now. We got near the gap, got into it a little bit, but we did not get much out of it as we come back down and close near the mid-range. One time framing up 2 days in a row. We take out today's low, then we'll be coming into a 3-day balance, and we'll use today's high, and then we'll use Wednesday's low as our balance area. So that's what we're looking at, guys. If you look here, moving averages are converging, crossing, and I believe they're doing such on this SPY. So bigger picture, we're moving higher. Trend is starting to look a little bit different from our downtrend, which has been working, right? Traders are going to do what's worked until it doesn't work anymore. Well, right now it's not working. We've broken this downward trend. We're finding acceptance above the 200, the 50, and the 20 as it's the 20 starting to curl up. We'll see how this plays out for the rest of the month. All right, now let's look at the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's look at the DraftKings trade. DraftKings, what a monster of a day, monster of a trade, as we hit all 3 of my targets, even the last third target to the penny. Today's high on DraftKings was 1750. My third target was 1745, so we got it just by 5 cents. And I took off most of that trade for a gain. So far, the total P&L on that trade is $15,712. We still have 25 contracts open at $3,787 left to gain on that. Solid trade on that. If you look here, I sold 50 this morning at market. what was it? Yep, right here. Sold 50 of them at $2.62, and then I sold another 25 at $2.44 for a solid trade. We look, I have 25 left. We bought them at 97 cents. We sold them at the high of $2.62. Solid gain there. Looking to see if this thing wants to keep on moving up. So if it comes into a daily balance, I will not take off the trade until we take out, if we come into a balance and then starts to one time frame down, that's when I'll get out of the trade. But that's our DraftKings. A really good swing trade there as we bought back here, held for 2 days, and made a uh, good bank, good bank on the paper account. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for sticking around. If you like the content, please leave a like. Make sure you use stops, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a trader. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Do better.